Good morning, this is Ron Brown. It is the 2nd of April 2024. I've been rearranging and working on my files, and I'm going to have you delete your files and install from the add-on, and I'll explain why. I'm just trying to clean things up and get organized, and there will be more of this coming. I'm going to try to make it a little bit easier for everybody to use this product. Now, this is prospecting with User SmartGroups and warehouse scans. Doing this on the 2nd of April, like I said, and always remember the market is your teacher. Standard risk disclaimer: any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. If you aren't using the software, you can get a free 30-day trial at highgrowthstock.com. After you watch this video, you'll see how powerful this software is. Now, I'm going to start out showing you how to do some housekeeping. I'm going to have you delete some files, and if you want your User SmartGroups to look like mine, I'm going to have you delete them and start over. If you have a bunch of your own User SmartGroups, make sure that you keep them, but you probably better put them in a subfolder. But if you want yours to look just like mine, just follow this process. I'm going to start here. I'm going to click on this icon over here. I'm going to click on the first one. I'm going to say delete and then hit the Y key, and this deletes them one at a time. All of these files are in the add-on. I'll go ahead and rebuild the Smart Groups, and you'll see that they have disappeared. There's nothing in here now. The next thing I want you to do, and I realize that this is kind of an inconvenience, but if you want your files organized like mine, you have to do it. I want you to click on the Choose Create View, and under my name, there are 3 folders here: Favorite Daily Prospecting, End of Day, Intraday, and then the standard scans. Just delete these one at a time. You don't have to delete the charts. I don't think I've made any changes in the charts, but you can do that if you want to. I'll just close this. I'll go ahead and show you how to delete charts if you're a newbie. And just under my name, just click on delete, and then everything is gone. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to download the add-on, and I provide a link for that. And with that add-on, I need to bring up my main menu here and install add-on. And it's the 2024 add-on zip. I'll just open it. And then it's going to go ahead and install the new files and also update the groups. I made some changes in the groups too. So this is making sure your setup is just like mine, because when I make these videos and so on, I refer to certain files and user groups and so on, and I want yours to be the same. I'm just going to pause this while this finishes. It does take a little while to import the groups, but when it's complete, just click on OK. And now I'm going to open a warehouse view. And I've done some things here with my favorite daily prospecting scans, end of day and intraday, and I'm going to talk about a few of them in this video, and then there will be another video where I'll explain where I've made some changes. I'm going to open this. I'm sorry, I opened the wrong one. I'll use the intraday. Most of these files are in the end of day and intraday both, and the reason I did that is because the scans, you can see I have that's an end of day and here's an intraday, and I'll explain this after I do some testing why I have Best of Woodward and Brown Top 50 Group Inclusion and Stocks moving up using my money flow groups. But these scans are tied to my user smart groups, and this is tied to the best of WB, top 50 group inclusion, and money flow, like I said, both end of day and intraday, and all three of those groups are in the filters. So these stocks have to pass all three of these user groups. Down here, perfect speculator, top 50 group inclusion, and money flow in. Now I'm going to show you why I came up with these and what my thinking is. First of all, let's bring up a chart. And I'm just going to go into my top-down charts. I'm going to use the black daily chart. This chart doesn't have the crossovers, but it does have the pocket pivot information on here, and this should suffice. Then I'm going to put the QQQ in here, and the reason I'm doing this is I want to point out where this most recent rally started, and you can see this line represents November 1st right here if you look down here. So I'm going to be testing and seeing which groups were performing best from the 1st of November. And to do that, I'm going to go into the designer. I'll just open this up. And then I'm going to click on this arrow here. I'm going to clear this out. And where I'm going to start is, I'll just start with the group inclusion report. HGS top 50. I'm going to go into 2023. This is November. So I'm going to click on November, December, 2024, January, February, March, and April. Next, I will check children, which means it's going to check all of the stocks that are under the top 50. If I open this up, you'll see that these are all checked. That's what check children does. And I'm going to run this. And you can see that the stock that appeared most often, and this began back here on the 1st of November and repeated several times. So when this market was taking off, this stock was going right along with it. And you can see the last date on here is 3/28. So let's take a look at VRT. So going back to the 1st of November, that would be right here where it was showing up in the top 50 group inclusion report. And for those of you who don't know what the top 50 is, it is a collection of user smart groups, which was I put these together years ago. All of these were not mine and Ian's. There are several others, and it pulls the stocks out of here which appear most often based upon these smart groups, and it just takes the top 50 every day. And that's how we came up with the top 50 group inclusion report. And this thing has worked for years. It finds the best stocks. The best stocks are at the top of the list. Now I have to locate that. Okay, so VRT. What's the second one? CrowdStrike. This is on the 2nd of November. Runs all the way through 3/26. CRWD. So November would be right here, and you can see the kind of run. Yes, it's sloppy, but it was tight going up here. And it appeared all these days. Now is the next one. This appeared 57 times. Let's look at now. And November, right here, look at that move up, and now it's getting sloppy. It's a very expensive stock, of course. And the next one is RCL. Started on the 2nd of November. And the last signal was on April 4th. RCL. You can see that it's still going. And here is November right here. The 2nd would be right there. Quite a run. Yes, lots of sloppiness in here. But, and then here's NVIDIA. We all know about NVIDIA. Let's take a look at it though. When did it start? This one started on 12/7. It wasn't showing up in the top 50 earlier. NVDA 12/7. So 12/7, see it had pulled back here. Here's 12/12. 12/7 is right there. Moved up, hesitated, and then started moving up sharply. What's this day right here? This is the 8th. Here's the 5th. Of these dates are right in here. If I can highlight this. Not doing a very good job. 5th, 8th, and 9th, right in here it started moving. It appeared in the top 50. As I go down the list, you can see this one appeared November 1st, FTAI. This stock is still going. FTAI. Back here, here's November 1st. Beautiful move. The point is these top 50 stocks appear over and over. I mean, the good stocks are appearing over and over in the top 50 group inclusion report. If you use one thing for prospecting, you can use the top 50 only. Now I'm going to do something else. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to clear this, get rid of those, and let's go up here to my user groups, non-index groups, and I'm going to do the best of Woodward and Brown. And I'm going to start with November, December, January, February, March, April. Check the children. And here's VRT coming up in the best of Woodward and Brown. Now, what the best of Woodward and Brown does is it takes the top 10 stocks from the top 50 group inclusion report and puts them in a folder called the best of Woodward and Brown. This was also created many years ago, and these are the best stocks for the day on that day. So 111, we've already looked at VRT, we've looked at NVIDIA, we looked at Royal Caribbean, CrowdStrike, I think we looked at PAN W. And let's see, this ended on 2/09, February 9th, because it corrected. But it was moving up starting the 10th of November, which is right in here. That is the 10th. On that, had a nice move up. So you can see how powerful the top 50 group inclusion report and the best of Woodward and Brown are. Now let's take a look at another group. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to clear it. I'm going to close this up so we can see it better. Let's see, I'm scrolling down. I want to find Perfect Speculator history right here. Okay, so November, December, January, February, March, April, check the children. Now, Perfect Speculator stocks are stocks that have either hit a 52-week high or a 3.25 year high, and they're not down any more than 5% from that high. So I'm going to run the Perfect Speculator stocks. And I need to open this up. And you can see that there are several of them. Some of these have the crossovers in here too. I have the group looks for the 3 crossing the 6 or setting up. But anyway, MPLX showed up. Let's take a look at MPLX. And what was the date on it? 11/1. So going back to 11/1, here's 11/1 or 11/2. It pulled back a little bit, and then when did it show up again? Well, it showed up on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, and so on, and it made a beautiful run. Nice chart. What else showed up in this? Assurant AIZ. Whoops. And that goes back to 11.1. Well, it gapped up on 11.1, and then it stayed within 5%, so it stayed in there. That's not as powerful a chart, but it's still a decent looking chart. RELX. Not familiar with this one. And when did it show up? On the 1st of November. So that's right here, and look at that. So you can see that all of these that I've covered, all of these groups where I keep the history on, it's finds good looking stocks. Here's Microsoft. We know what that looks like. PSN. Okay, and when did that start? That started on the 1st of November also, which is right here. Moved up, consolidated, and then broke out. Let's look here on, what is this, February 9th. Right here, showed up again as it was moving up. So this is another group that does really well. You can see that there's a lot of overlap in these groups. They appear in multiple groups, many of these stocks. If I go back in, and I think I'll take the time to do it. I'm going to go back in here. I have the perfect speculator selected. This takes a little longer to load when some of these are already open. Let's go back up here. I'll just close some of these down, but you can see that they remain checked. And then I'm going to go into best of W&B. Check these. Check children. I'm going to go back up to the custom groups, the top 50. 2023, I want 11, 12. Check children. Okay, and I'm going to run all of these groups here. Okay. Now these dates are dates that belong to the top 50 group inclusion report. These dates aren't labeled, but you can see that on the first, what are we looking at here? VRT. The first, it was showing up in the top 50, the first and the 7th. Go down to Woodward and Best of Woodward and Brown on the 1st and the 10th. And Perfect Speculator on not until the 11th. But it showed up in 2 of the 3. Let's look at this one. NVIDIA, it appeared not until December 7th on that one. And it appeared on 12/13, 11/3 and 12/13 in the Best of Woodward and Brown. And Perfect Speculator, it appeared on November 10th was the first date. And let's see if it started appearing around the 7th. I don't see it in December, around 12/13, but it appeared several times in all of these. And it just goes to show that you could use any of these for a way to prospect. But what I decided to do, and that's what I'm experimenting with now, and I'll show this to you, is I am combining the requirements for all 3 into filters. And also I've added money flow into some of them. So let's take a look and see what I have right here. You can see that I have the best of Woodward and Brown, the top 50, and stocks moving up or money flow. And I haven't added the money flow on the group inclusion report. I could do that quickly, I guess. And let's go down here to, or up here, I believe. Get through all these perfect speculators, best of Woodward and Brown. I paused it. Here it is, money flow end of day. And I'm going to add November, December, January, February, March. This has both money flow in and out. Okay. And here's VRT. You can see money flow on 11-1, 11-10, 11-13. These are all money flow in. And there are money flow outs in there too, but primarily in, and along with perfect speculator and the top 50. But there's a lot of overlap with these groups, and money flow in looks for stocks that close in the upper part of their range and above average volume. So this, with these groups as a basis, what I'm doing is I am just experimenting with this now, but like the first one is the best of Woodward and Brown, the top 50 group and inclusion report, and stocks moving up or money flow in. And if I bring up the filter, this requires that these stocks that pass this have to be members of the best of Woodward and Brown, the top 50. This is the top 50 group inclusion report, and this is money flow in. So the stocks that showed up here, and there can't be more than 10 of them because the best of Woodward and Brown only has 10 stocks, and these stocks appeared in all three of these groups, and there are 8 of them. And we have a bad market day today. I'm sure most of these are down, and I'll look at that. But here is Cameco. You can see that it here, right here, I'll go to alternate one. This was a move up, pocket pivots, and an effort to rise. Traded down a little bit, but now it's trading near the high of the day. Let's go to the day intraday statistics. Volume is less than normal. You can see that over here, but it still looks good. Why don't I go down to the next one, because it's going to show if these are up or down today, and you can see that most of them are down. This is the money flow, or this is this group with the intraday view, which is right here. End of day, intraday. So you can see which ones are following through. But like I said, this is a bad market day. The comp is down 221 points minus 1.35. So these are not making much headway today. But I'm just going to flip through these, and you can see what kind of stocks these are that are appearing in all of the groups. You can see they're strong stocks. That one's pulling back today. But that, with the ability to access these groups directly, what we can come up with is a short list of stocks without spending a whole bunch of time prospecting. That's my ultimate goal here. Now here's Perfect Speculator, top 50 group inclusion, and money flow in. It does not have the restrictions of the best of Woodward and Brown. So this brings up 23 securities that were in these three groups. Top 50 group inclusion report, Perfect Speculator, and money flow in. Just get this up here. And I imagine a lot of these are down today. You can see a lot of them are, which is no surprise. But the ones that are holding up today in a very weak market, have to be very strong stocks, or I assume they are. You can see this. Trip. There's MCore again. Denison Mines. Arch Rock. Weatherford. Anyway, these are my first two attempts at combining multiple groups and requiring that these stocks be in all of the groups. Now, you can create these filters where it's just two groups, or you can just use a single group. So what I'm trying to do is locate the best stocks based upon what you've seen with the top 50 group inclusion report, best of Woodward and Brown, money flow, perfect speculator, and get a good list of stocks that are moving. These stocks are some of the best performers coming off the low, and strong stocks, as you know, have a tendency to keep going up. Now, make sure you use these scorecard views. It tells how old the signals are and what the relative strength is, if there's a VPA flag or not. So just looking at this, I'll just go to the top one, Denison Mines. Earnings are due the 8th of May. Volume was high yesterday, spread above average, and the close was very high. This is the closing information, but the crossovers happened 11 days ago. 0 are the crossover days, so this happened 11 days ago. Has a high relative strength of 92. It's in precious metal and mining. There was an effort to rise yesterday. So let's go to this, and then I'm going to go down to my 2B, which shows the crossover. And here's the crossover day back here, clear back here. And it had a little pullback, but it moved up. And this is a cheap stock, by the way. But that happened 11 days ago. So this would be 11 days ago right there. Let's look at the next stock. FTI. This happened 17 days ago in the crossover. And the volume point of control has been positive for 32 days. So this is really a nice looking stock, which crossed over 17 days ago. Let's see, was that okay, 1 day down. So it actually, the run began back here on the crossover, had a crossover down, just a little pullback here, and then it fired again and has made a nice run since. On these days, there was also a pocket pivot here and pocket pivots here. So this would have come through in the continuation filter because the 3 was above the 6, and pocket pivots, and the VPOC was positive also. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to go back to the group inclusion report. I'm going to do a Control F, which opens a window up here, and I'm going to type in FTI, and you can see that I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Here it is, FTI. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this again. Let's look back here at this first crossover day. That was on the 15th of February. You can see that it was in the best of Woodward and Brown on the 15th. Oh, that's March, I'm sorry. In February, it appeared on the 21st. And it appeared on the 21st with money flow in. And it didn't appear in perfect speculator until the 26th. And it appeared not until March in the best of Woodward and Brown. So this didn't appear on multiple days here. So these are pretty restrictive filters. It looks like maybe I need to add a scan just with money flow in and the top 50 group inclusion report rather than restricting it. But you can see that I have all kinds of flexibility with this, and these are just the ones I came up with. But I'm going to leave these in. This is going to be a short or a fast way to find stocks that are appearing in these groups. These three, top 50, money flow in with perfect speculator. Now, I'll probably do another one where I eliminate the perfect speculator and just have the top 50 group inclusion report and money flow in. But I'm going to leave these others. In fact, I'm going to add another folder, folder number 10, and I'll do that before I ship the or upload the add-on file so you can have it too. That's what I'm working on right now. My goal is to find these stocks quickly, and stocks that are giving multiple signals would be the best. I mean, if they're showing up in all of these groups, they have to have something going for them. Thank you for listening, and like I said, I'll get these others together. Before I go, you can see that when I reinstalled the software, that these are the SmtGroups that are installed, and these are the only ones I'm using right now. There is a sub list under my name here, but I don't have nearly as many as I had before. Thank you for listening. Have a good week.